We're back with the politics lead and the president's growing reality gap, tweeting this morning, quote, "We should have a contest as to which of the networks, plus CNN and not including Fox, is the most dishonest, corrupt, and or distorted in its political coverage of your favorite president. Me. They are all bad. Winner to receive the fake news trophy." This missive is the latest attack on the free press by the president of the United States since, well, Saturday, in which he wrote this, quote, "Fox News is much more important in the United States than CNN, but outside of the U.S., CNN International is still a major source of fake news, and that represent our nation to the world very poorly. The outside world does not see the truth from them," unquote. And that is false. The amazing journalists at CNN International bring the truth to the world. They're carrying out important, rare, and often dangerous work. They have been for decades. And if you need a reminder, Mr. President, here's CNN senior international correspondent Ben Wedeman under fire in Libya in 2011, the first Western television journalist inside Libya after the upheaval started. Here's CNN senior international correspondent Darwa Damon. She and her photojournalist Bryce Lane last year were trapped in ISIS-held Mosul under siege for 28 hours after their vehicle took a direct hit.
Okay, what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
And in some cases, CNN international correspondents such as Ivan Watson have even intervened when necessary. Here's Ivan hoisting trapped Yazidis into a helicopter away from the terrorists of ISIS and to safety with the Iraqi Air Force and the Kurdish Peshmerga. So many reporters and producers and photojournalists, too many to name, are carrying out important work in dangerous places across the world to bring the truth to the world. And we should note that the president's attack on CNN International came the exact same day that Vladimir Putin signed into law amendments that will allow foreign media outlets in Russia, such as CNN International, to be listed by the Russian government as foreign agents. That's according to state-run Sputnik News. Russian officials have said this is a retaliatory response to the U.S. government's request that Russian-owned RT register its American arm as a foreign agent. Now, I asked White House officials today if there was any relationship between Putin taking a step that could penalize CNN International and President Trump attacking CNN International on the same day. The White House officials did not respond. But it wasn't just complaints from the president, we should point out. Over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, the president did say he was thankful for one outlet's coverage. No, not Fox News. This was a fringe website which compiles what they say are the president's accomplishments. The president expressed that he wished other news outlets would follow suit. Quote, "Wow, even I didn't realize we did so much. Wish the fake news would report. Thank you." Now that website, MAGApill.com, promotes conspiracy theories and is riddled with anti-Semitism, sharing Las Vegas massacre conspiracy, crazy wacko stories, claiming there's a, quote, "massive effort going on to suppress conversation," promoting a vile conspiracy involving Democrats and pedophilia rings, posting a so-called flow chart of the swamp, detailing how certain, quote, "bloodline families have dominated global financial institutions," mentions, of course, of rogue elements of the Israeli Secret Service, the Rothschilds, George Soros, on and on. You get the point. That's a website the president seemingly supports. There may, however, be more here than just one man's insatiable hunger for glowing coverage. We've been noting all year that the president seeks to discredit voices that do not show him deference. This seems, at least in part, to undermine accountability for him and his administration. But attacking the press is not going to stop us from reporting that which he does not like to have covered, such as the president's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, as well as another campaign official, Rick Gates, having been indicted, or the plea agreement of another campaign official, George Papadopoulos. He's been cooperating with the special counsel probe. The Washington Post reports today that the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee say that the president's former national security advisor, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, may have violated the law by not disclosing in his January 2016 security clearance renewal application a trip he took to the Middle East in 2015 on behalf of a company seeking to build more than 24 nuclear plants in the Middle East. Wait for it, in partnership with Russian interests. Now, Flynn eventually did disclose the trip in August 2017. If you're keeping track, that's just a few months ago. An attorney for Flynn's company told the committee he would not provide more information about the trip unless subpoenaed. The Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee opted to not do so. He referred the matter to special counsel Mueller instead, writing, quote, "Much of what is sought by my Democratic colleagues, if properly investigated, charged, and proven beyond a reasonable doubt, would carry criminal penalties, unquote. Last week, attorneys for Flynn ended communications with attorneys for President Trump. That's a signal that perhaps Flynn is cooperating with the Mueller probe. Now, that I am sharing these facts with you, facts the president does not care for, might explain why he seeks to discredit CNN, and indeed all media organizations that report on him without fear or favor, the Washington Post, the New York Times. The president does not care for us reporting these facts, and it seems like he does not want you to believe these facts. The president said he wanted to give an award based on which network is the most, quote, dishonest, corrupt, and or distorted. But his problems with journalism seem to be rooted in the exact opposite. He hates that which is honest and ethical and precise. Ask yourself, why might that be?